do some couples work too with relationships. People who are married or in relationships, and that is a common theme. Like who's right? They struggle mightily with who's right and who's wrong, and takes us meaning me and the two, takes us often down the wrong path. There ain't no right or wrong here. Yes. Of course you want, and I understand it because people want to be heard. Hey, I'm struggling with my wife here, and she doesn't get it, and I feel like I'm right about what I'm telling her, and vice versa. But that goes nowhere. Drop that desire to be right.
Quick question on the couples thing. If you're doing couples therapy, should you seek individual therapy first?
That's a good question. Not necessarily. You could seek it first. You could start couples and then seek it afterwards.
Or during, or
yes, absolutely. Yeah. Oftentimes I refer, if a couple comes to me of course I'll ask, are either one of you in individual therapy? And oftentimes if they're not, I would recommend it while we're working together.
Yeah, because it seems like if you just go into couples therapy, like you said, it turns into that I'm going to prove you wrong. Mm-hmm. Just as much as I'm going to make myself right.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
that's all it is. I told you. I knew it. I told you. See?
And then
what he said?
Yeah, and then it makes it hard for you to decide.
It's a horrible place. It's a horrible place. That's, you talk about passion for my work. That's not a good. It's not a good play. To be totally honest, that's no fun to me. And I'll tell couples, look, I don't know if we can really do business if this is going to keep up in this way, because I really can't help you in this, with this kind of energy. So we turn that around. We get them to listen as much as possible and to hear each other, just to stand down. Just listen to what she's saying. Gotcha. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it, but just take it in. Don't be, or that's wrong. I can't tell you how many times that's not what happened. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in what happened and what didn't happen.
Right.
I'm interested in how y'all.
You are the total neutral party.
Yeah.
You are so neutral.
I hate that. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, but you made me. Like, are you really sorry?
Nah.
Yeah.
Don't work like that.
All right.
What is masculinity? And should a man be apologetic for being masculine in today's society?
That's a good question, Skitty.
To take the second part first, absolutely not be apologetic for being masculine in today's society. Now let's go to the definition, though.
Yes.
You see. Why should you apologize for being strong, sensitive, caring, nurturing, humble? That's masculinity to me.
Gotcha.
So all of that, including the strong, including the being able to stand.
What you think of masculine as authoritative?
It can be authoritative
without being dictatorial.
Absolutely, yeah. But being the one who kind of holds it down and who takes it, who can take it. Meaning, you may get criticized, right?
Okay.
You may get marginalized. You may get put on the outside, but it's okay. Just be there. That's a man. Just show up.
Thank you, Chico.
No doubt.
Just show up. And then again, with that strong, nurturing, supportive.
That's your definition.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So we know that masculinity is normally attributed to males or a man, right? So my question would then be, what is the role of a man? Then how does that look for like a black man in today's society?
That seems like a personal question, man. Like you trying to prove a point to somebody, man.
Yeah, well, the role of a man, take very good care of oneself, right? In the interest or in the service of taking care of yours. your partner, your primary love relationship, let's say, or your children or your family, whatever your situation is that involves others. So it is about being for other people. But first and foremost, take care of yourself so that you're in a position of as much of a position of strength and capability as you possibly can be. It's very difficult if you're not taking care of yourself to be a man for others.
That you can't give what you don't have.
Yeah.
Never thought of it like that.
I think most of us have that backwards, though. I think most of us, I'll speak for myself, I take care of others before I take care of myself.
Then when you start to take care of yourself, you become selfish.
Well, I'll let you know when I start taking care of myself.
Wow. That was very deep.
I have this thing. I have to save everybody. I have to do this. I have to do that. And
I've been called.
I'm always last.
It's a control thing, I think.
It could be. It could
I'm
be
being a psychoanalyst.
It could be. But
what? I mean, you get.
I just like say there's 24 hours in a day, right? I'm just running, doing this, I'm doing that. I stay busy, and I don't really have time for myself. I don't really.
But you see, Skid, he's responding to your question. He's responding to the part of my answer that talked about the role of men as a caretaker, as a person who's going to be there and take care of others. So he's not out in left field by being committed to that. He just said, as he said, I got it backwards. I'm doing that first, and I guess the more you talk, it's like to the exclusion. You don't even put in notes. What percentages for you?
I haven't figured that out yet.
You gotta figure that out. It sounds like almost like 100% into others and zero for me.
It's true. But I think I disguise it well because I try to be cool. I don't complain a lot because I know I was taught you're a man. You do what you got to do. You don't complain because nobody's gonna listen anyway.
So you hear the
no one's gonna care.
No one's gonna care.
Listen, I suffer from that same disease. Let
me ask you a question,
understand.
Who cares?
Absolutely no one.
About how you feel?
No one.
Last time somebody asked you, how was your day, bro? And meant it. I'm talking about.
You see what he said? And meant it.
And meant it.
It's really to bring up their day when they ask you about your day.
I'm just saying, man.
Listen, man.
We're not here for this, but
reciprocation is very vital, especially for me. I'm like him. I know I grew up with a lot of pain, internal pain. So my objective is I don't want someone, if I see certain patterns that I know reflected the patterns that I went through, my objective is I don't want you to suffer the way I suffered. I felt like I've developed a tolerance somewhat so I can take it, so to speak. You know what I mean? And then it goes back to what he was saying, where when you look at the ratio, it looks like it's 80 and it's supposed to be 20, but somehow it's still 0. You understand? So the math is not mathing, so to speak. So I get exactly what he's saying. And at times when you try to address the situation, it could be interpreted or misinterpreted as, oh, you're complaining. And then again, as a man, you don't want to look like a whiner. Yeah. You don't want to look like a person who can't handle the situation. Or isn't that what you're supposed to do? You understand what I'm saying? So it's like a very slippery slope in that regard.
It is.
Be a man, bro.
It is.
What you gotta do.
And
show up.
I literally have...
No, I'm saying, I'm not even speaking from your partner's perspective. I'm talking about your kids.
Yeah.
The job, society. Yo, just be a man, shut up, get it done.
Yeah.
No excuses.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
You get called,
okay.
Oh, you're just being emotional.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
that's the new
who's supposed to be
word.
an important factor in my life. You're my responsibility. Oh, you're part of that pie that has that type of responsibility in there.
Yeah, don't even have to
Why
be
can't
your
I
spouse.
address a concern that would enable me to be in a better position to provide and for you to receive? And therefore, that compatibility would create a wholeness, and we could meet our objectives. Like, what's the problem? Why was it now when it's something to the mirror is reversed where you see yourself, not in a negative way, but just in a way to recognize, oh, you know what? Yeah, I see this here. Let's remove this blemish, or let's address this situation. Now I'm emotional. I don't get it.
Right. It's a tremendous challenge. And remember, it goes back to that part of masculinity that says you do have to stand in there and take it and be there and hold. So the challenge for us is to be all of that and then find a space to express ourselves and to be understood. So kind of short answer to your dilemma, so with her, I assume. With her.
Whoa, there's no. Yeah, you don't have to assume. It's absolutely
I don't want this.
I understand what month it is. It's all right.
Meaning your relationship, your primary love relationship.
Yeah, it could be past and present. Okay, I have a daughter as well.
Okay, so is that you now want to, once you're in that space where you're being accused of complaining and your emotionality is not really being accepted or it's being interpreted a different way, the challenge is to find out what she's saying to you. What does she mean by, you're too emotional, you're too upset, and then continue along that path? Because I get it. It could be very frustrating to hear, but now you're in the conversation between you and her, and her is different. It's different than his, her, and his, her.
Right.
So actually, what is she saying? What do you mean?
I actually think that word is a setup so you could just be quiet.
What?
You're getting emotional.
Yo, it's so true.
It's a setup because when you tell a man you're being emotional, he immediately shuts down because he's like, "Oh no, I'm not emotional."
Yeah.
And then you stop saying what you really want to say because now they put that word
on
on
your emotion.
Yeah, they put that word on you. You're being emotional. It's a setup to stop you from expressing yourself.
Well, and y'all gonna let that happen?
No.
Y'all gonna let them stop you?
Yeah.
Well, you know what it is? I'm gonna be very honest. Like, I'm done with arguing, bro. I can't, because I just find like I'm repeating everything in the same thing in different languages, hoping that one of the language would land. You understand? And I do understand. I do have a responsibility to understand how to communicate with the individual. But the thing is, communication is not just me uttering something. You have to be in a position to receive what I'm uttering too. And let's make that effort together.
Yeah, is walking away good enough?
No. I guess go ahead.
But like, if I'm trying to express something to you, right? And let's say you don't understand it. If I'm met with vitriol, where is the confidence to?
Right.
Now, I don't know if it's confidence the right way, but it's like, yo, bro, like, why are you upset though?
Right.
Yeah, the next time you express yourself, your volume may go up. Your volatility may go up.
Sometimes my frustration strength is very low, and it enables me to react in a more aggressive way, not threatening, like shut up, not like that, but you can hear the tone change. You understand? But my thing is that I know I don't react like that with you. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of times where you don't understand certain things or you didn't hear certain things. My thing is like, what, you deaf? It's not like that. You feel me? So it's like when I receive it at times, and it's always the perfect time for me not to receive that. It's like I have a bullseye. Yeah, this is the worst time to do it. Do it now. And it's like, wow. So you just gotta, and like I said, like you said, it's a challenge.
So
I accept the challenge because you love the person. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things with love, you want to be long suffering, but sometimes it's like, what are the real conditions? When is enough? Is enough? Like, what we doing here?
Yeah. So stop trying to explain and to get your point across, because either way doesn't work. Shutting down, clearly that doesn't work. Which is that's a go-to.
Yeah. Listen.
And then also what you're saying, Skid, is I'm trying to I'm paraphrasing you.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated because she doesn't get it. I'm trying to explain. Stop trying to explain and listen to her. Turn it around.
Okay.
And like I said before, ask her, be as clear as you can possibly be based on what she tells you about what she means by you getting too emotional. Don't do that. Let her tell you what she's struggling with. Because it's her, it's not just your issue. It's her. She's reacting to something. She's reacting to something.
No, I get that.
Find out what that is, and that's your avenue. That's your one runway into understanding of her position, so that at some point she gets it that, oh, okay, I'm upset. I want to express to him that I'm upset for this, and he understands why I'm upset, and so I can be more tolerant of his reaction. But I think the key really is to have her open up to you. Ironically speaking, right? Because it's sounding like it's all your issue. It's us. It's we exploded, and how come they can't tolerate it and they don't understand?
No, I agree.
It's because she's communicating something that you want to be totally clear about. And if you give her that avenue, that could remedy a lot of stuff.
Because I know me, I'm a cognizant person. And I have a memory bank. When I love you, I have a memory bank. And if you say a complaint, or sometimes maybe I go OD. So if you tell me, oh, I don't think you're not being as attentive, or I don't feel like I was a priority. Now, I'm a person, I know I'm not perfect, but I will do what I have to do to correct it. And so now, maybe I'm over attentive. So what happens is, if I hear something, I may ask a question for clarity on my sake, instead of me just interpreting. Let me hear exactly what it is that you want.
Okay.
You understand? But what happens is, oh, you should understand that. I get that. Or how you don't hear me? No one else understands. Everyone else understands. Everyone. Okay. So when you speak with everyone else, they never give a follow-up question. There's never wait, repeat that. So come on now. We know that's not true. But that's the situation right now. So I'm just I gotta learn to, I guess, understand everything once it come about. So maybe it's the way I pay attention to it. Maybe I'm seeking to understand it too deeply. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I'm just faultless in the thing. I will make whatever effort it is to correct and address. But again, it's like reciprocation, man.
Yeah.
If
you're indeed asking for clarity, as you say, and you don't get it, or you get a response such as, well, you should already understand, then another level of it is, well, I'll just say, you deserve the clarity. You don't deserve that, to be essentially jerked around. I mean, let me just put it out. And so that may go to the nature of your relationship with the given person. Right. If you can't get it, I say seek it out. She's saying something, and go for that. But you just said, I ask. I've tried for clarity, but I say try as hard as you possibly can. If you don't get it, because you deserve it. We deserve. If we're willing to listen and to say, baby, tell me what is this? What's happening here? If you don't get that, then.
But see, and that's where the masculinity thing come in. Because sometimes you feel like you're getting punked. Sometimes it's like, wait, what?
You looking around.
Yo, hold up. Who you think you talking to type thing? But you can't really just get all macho type thing. But at the same time, it's like it's such a thin line.
Yep.
Sometimes when you hear the outburst, you want to be like, yo, whoa, I'm the man here type thing, but again, she may have something that she's dealing with. So at the time, you got to take a step back. She wouldn't just blow up for no reason. So now let me, it's not the right time right now. It's like, I can't win, man. Then it's like, all right. You know what I'm saying? You kind of let it go, and you hopefully when everything cools down, you can hope you address it.
Just tell me this, then we'll get off because I'm interested in you. How many years?
Oh boy. Know the person maybe Easy over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
Yeah,
right.
easily.
And it's some redeeming qualities to her. There's a reason why you still there. So take heart in that too, and rely on that. It's something. She's got something she brings to the table.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So
absolutely.
So
amazing individual. Yeah.
Continue to work hard on it. But if it's that amount of time and it's working reasonably well, and you can, on balance, you can say, okay, this is all right, but this is driving me up a wall.
Right.
And you work on the part that's driving you up a wall. But so 10 plus years. If it's a zero, it's a zero. And you impress me as somebody who's, you have good discernment. I don't think you would stay in something.
You don't know.
That was
Those are all lies. This is all the front right here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Grew up with this guy for 30 years. What? Yes. Know this guy for like 30 plus.
Right, yeah, right now.
Yeah.
Right,
Easy.
like 40. Going on 40 now.
Yeah, easy on that.
Yep.
We used to play what? Tag.
All that. Help tag.
Help tag on the block.
I got a quick question now. We touched on a little bit with the stereotype, but being a black man, I have to enter people's lives and houses, and they may be from a different race or even my own race. And I get looked differently, especially with the hair, how I'm dressed sometimes. How do you advise somebody to deal with that? Because I got to deal with that outside. Then I get home, I got to deal with certain things when I get home. And it's just, I don't have a time to really
Decompress.
Yeah. As soon as I walk in the door, it's all right, it's something else. I got to take on another problem. It may not be a problem, but that's how I receive it, that it's a problem. So how do you advise somebody like me that's dealing with all of this stuff?
Yeah. Well, I would first want to know, as far as your perception of people outside of you, their perception of you, as far as that's concerned, the first thing I would say to you, to any individual, because again, we're all different, is how is that take a look at how that's affecting you. And it might sound like a stupid or silly answer, because we kind of all get it. We all know what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
But for you, what goes on for you in those moments when you're walking up behind somebody and they clutch their purse, or you go into a certain situation and you're perceived a certain way? What is that? What meaning? What feeling does that?
It angers me. Mm-hmm. Definitely angers me. Or sometimes I'm walking, and you hear the people lock the door. So I laugh at it sometimes, but I'm like I'm almost 50 years old, and people still look at me like I'm gonna do stuff like that. And I know that's not me, and I know you judge everybody by what you see immediately, firsthand. It may be wrong, it may be right, but whatever your judgment is, it is your judgment. Mm-hmm. That's on the individual.
Yeah.
But it angers me because I'm not that person at all. I've probably never been that person.
Yeah.
Never been the intimidating type. The only person I had a fight with really is this guy. Well, not a fight. It really beat me up every time after wrestling. But I don't, and it's tough. It's tough to deal with that because I work around people that I know look at me totally different from when they look at other people and judge me that way. So it's actually pretty tough to deal with. And I don't know how to get that off my chest.
Okay.
But with anger.
Right. Well, you're fully entitled to the anger. I don't know what you mean by but with anger, but you're fine with the feeling, with the fully entitled. But then the key is acceptance. It's understanding that this is what it is. This is what it is. Accept that that's the way the world. It's been like that for a long time with us. It ain't changing just because it's 2024. I ain't no bet. I'm just an N, even though I have a PhD, right? And I've achieved certain things in my life. To many people, I'm an N. I accept that. So with acceptance, then comes the ability to to move forward and to let it go. That's
the
like
hard part.
Sound like a 3-stage process there.
Yeah. And you can own and feel and you're entitled to the anger. And then of course it depends what you do with the anger. But if you were, for example, you talking to us now about it, or so that happens and you got a friend, you got your brother or a friend. You say, hey, man, this is what happened today. Once again, blah, blah, blah. Get that off. That's what I do. Hey, man, and sometimes we do laugh about it, but I need to get it off my chest because in the moment I was pissed and I was angry and frustrated. And so, but to have somebody to talk to share that with gets me through that moment, keeps me going. But at the end of the day, we accept that that's the way it is.
Yeah. Now, I want to ask this question. You don't have to get too specific, but I guess it is a specific question. What do most men want to talk about in your sessions? Like, what are their problems in general?
Yeah, that might help because you say something I can relate to, and I'm like, all right.
Most man, it is.
Is it a woman?
That's a lovely question because it's rich with men, meaning it's many things. But
I mean, I guess I'm asking, right? I'm sure you get calls. Hey, doctor, I want to set up a meeting with you, blah blah blah, and then you hear what they're there for. Do you go, yeah, this again, huh?
No. It's because it's usually something that makes sense that it's clearly struggling with. It might not, and often doesn't end up being the thing that we deal with once they start.
Right.
But
Gotcha.
It's I'm struggling on my job, have difficulty in my marriage. I'm having. I'm anxious. I'm nervous, and I don't know why. Any number of things may get them in the door. But then once we start a theme, a common theme would be around. Be honest with you, it's very similar to what we just been talking about. To feeling safe, to being safe emotionally, being okay with being themselves and totally expressing themselves in whatever content, whether that's on a job, in their relationship, whatever have you. So I think if you get down to the level of emotion and psyche, and so it's about safety and feeling okay with themselves, because we're not considered, just as OJ was saying, it's a theme is we're threatening. We're not considered to be like okay people in general. I guess in some ways okay, but we're threatening. We're troubled. We're aggressive. We don't listen. We're selfish.
We're actors too. We're actors.
Mm-hmm.
We don't portray who we really are in certain parts of our day or society, right? A perfect example is I teach my son when he gets on the train, we don't do this happy-go-lucky, I'm comfortable, my parents are rich. We don't do that. We don't present that. You straight face, you sit on the train, you don't fall asleep, and you have this certain don't mess with me attitude. But you can't do that every hour of the day. Now when you go home, you gotta shut that off, right? But some of us, our home is not our safe place. When your home is not your safe place, you're done. You have nothing. So a lot, especially New York City, right? Subway system, you take the trains.
Yeah, mash stuff.
There's a lot of things that are happening, but I'm not gonna say it's a shame because, like you said earlier, it is what it is. Accept it, embrace it, and move on, right? But I'm not gonna tell them be on your iPhone and your iPad Air and your $200 Beats headphones and just smile and laugh and look at me, I have a great life. They're gonna pop you in your head and steal your stuff. I'm sorry, this is what they're gonna do.
Jungle, man.
Right? So when you walk in or you're moving to New York City, there's this certain look you have to have. And it's not you.
Yeah. So yeah, now to your earlier question, what you're saying, Cleon, brings up something because you're talking about basic survival mechanisms, survival tactics, and I think for men, when you back to the question of, what was your question actually?
Yeah.
What do men talk about? What's the main?
And
A lot of times it is getting through basic survival mechanisms of that type. That's kind of at the heart of things in order for them to move on and then move forward, we have to be comfortable in having survived, which is a whole other
you have to be
energy.
tough in every situation. You got to go to work tough. You got to take the trains tough. You got to drive your car tough. You got to come home tough because then your wife or your girlfriend, whoever the person is going to think you're soft. Then they're going to pop off on you. It's like, how many hours of the day can you spend just being tough? You just want to chill.
Yeah. Just want to be taken care of.
You just want to relax. Cut it off. It's very tiring.
Yeah.
Like, you start developing permanent frowns and lines in your forehead.
Frown lines.
It's just, it's exhausting.
Yeah. So
there's no way to just, you just want to relax.
Yeah. So can we, as we meaning therapists or even as support people, brothers to each other, can we figure out how to help ourselves survive and chill at the same time?
That's a very good question.
At the same time. It's not easy, but that's the goal.
Men in particular, there's a lot of acting. There's a lot of boasting. There's a lot of posturing. Yeah, bravado. It's like, bro, you don't have to do this right now. I called the coach asking him for information a few days ago. He answered the phone. Yeah, what's up? I'm like, bro. I'm asking you for a schedule, bro. Like, when's the next game? He was just, yeah, what's up? And it's like, it's this thing we just keep doing over and over, 24 hours a day. We got to stop.
Yeah.
I know you.
I know you. We're all men, bro. I know what you're going through.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to do. Have you ever lost a client because of something you said that they didn't like?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't, yeah. Something I said, something I did. Yeah.
They like,
Sure.
like, Doc, I'm done with you.
Yeah. People are very sensitive to to any number of things. So yeah. That's part of that. That's
part of the deal.
Occupational hazard. That comes with the territory. And sometimes it speaks to perhaps that wasn't a great a combination to begin with. That wasn't a great
Yeah,
connection.
you can't help everybody.
So,
So
yeah. So I usually take that as I wasn't good enough for them in some way. Although sometimes I would hear it as, what's up? I mean, this is crazy. But at the end of the day, it's I failed them in some way. I failed them, and that's okay. Hopefully they would move on.
Find somebody else.
Yeah, that's cool that you can say that, though.
Yeah.
Do you get people that just
cool.
want to talk? They don't necessarily need something. They just want to.
Just want an outlet.
Yeah, just want to talk to you. Not necessarily. I have a problem with this. Just how about the corny Eagles?
Yeah.
How about the great Cowboys? They don't want to do that.
let me guess. You've never had that experience, right?
Did you see that Cowboy Eagle game? How you doing, Doc?
How bad is Jalen Hurts?
That's funny.
Sometimes just talking, schmoozing, is providing them something.
So okay.
And usually it's about connection. Like it's very interesting. You mentioned I had a woman today, a client who struggling with came to me as a result of some job issues. Job issues, and those kind of, this was not recently, like about 3 months ago. So she stayed with me, kind of got through those things, and now she talks. The sessions are about her just talking, like you're saying, and I'm seeing that she sees value in that. Now I'm not gonna keep her in therapy forever, because she's the main issue is resolved, and there's some stuff underneath that involving how she just deals, how she is socially in general. But she needs, right now, she's benefiting from a person that she can talk to once a week. She don't really have, in a way, she don't have much of a life. So that happens fairly often.
Yeah,
with people. They don't have, and so this. Oh wow, okay. I like him. He understands me. He gets me, and it's quite valuable. And it helps them to develop, hopefully, move toward being able to have that in their personal life. They can't stay with me forever.
Right. And you're probably more accessible now that most of these sessions are online or Zoom. Yeah. Is this because of COVID that the practice made switches to just doing?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Is it an upside, downside to?
Yeah, I'll say, is that preferable?
Well, it's preferable to me. Like, I've learned how to manage it. And initially with COVID, it was an adjustment. I thought it was going to be easy. I thought, we're locked in. I don't have a choice, so I'll do this. But this is good. I don't have to go out. But it took me almost a year. So it was COVID, so 2020 into 2021. It took me a year to adjust to being at home, just in the other room, at my little home office, where I had the Zoom set up. I was used to a different kind of pattern, moving around and being in my office and so forth. So it was harder than I thought initially. But after a while, I adjusted to it. People liked it.
You get more work done.
Yeah.
See more clients. That's great.
Right.
I mean, COVID has its ups and downs.
How long should the therapy? How long should I be in therapy? Is there like a time frame, time limit?
Right. Well, as long as it takes for you to, and together with the therapist, to collaboratively decide that it's time to move outside of therapy. So that could be, it's different for different people. It could be anywhere between a few months. It could be 10 sessions, which is maybe 2.5, assuming once a week. That's 2.5 months. So let's say 10 sessions, because the average, by the way, statistically, the average number of sessions is based on psychotherapy research. Average number of sessions for an individual person to be in is about 8 sessions. That's because a lot of therapists work definitely on a short-term model. And then you have people leaving therapy. So the research was done based on it taking everything into account, including people dropping out. People come to one session and it's not for me.
Right. I'm sure that happens a lot.
But the average is lower than what people would think. But I think a successful treatment, 10 sessions to maybe 40 sessions. What's 40 sessions? 4. That's 10 months. So it's less than a year, somewhere in there. But it can go. There are people that I've seen longer than a year, and then of course there are people where we stop, and they can always come back. You see, because now they have a relationship with me. So whenever something comes up, you need a tune-up. There's some issues. They know me. I know them. They can come back anytime. And when we end, let's say it's after 40 said, let's say it's after 10 months. They don't have to be perfect.
Right.
You like to, okay, oh, you've accomplished, you've come a long way here. This is nice. Okay, so you're ready to get your wings. Do your thing. You still got challenges.
Right.
Here's what you need to continue to work on. And, let me know. You can, if you struggle at some point, you can always come back and we can talk about where you at and where things stand. But the reality is people live their lives in their lives. It's once a week for 45 minutes. That's not your real life.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It better not be.
You think you're talking your life, but it's not.
This is how long I know this guy. I know you remember the story, Skid. I was coming home from work. I had my Walkman on. I heard Boys to Men, End of the Road. Bro, I got in the house. I called you immediately, bro. I was like, yo, have you heard this Boys to Men, End of the Road? This guy's talking about his girl is cheating on him and he's okay with it.
Yeah.
He's an idiot, bro.
Said, I knew you was sneaking out the back, but I didn't care. What?
Yeah, that was...
Like, those worst lines in the history
Even
of
in
music.
the song, he was soft, right? See, this is our problem, man.
That
Yep.
is...
See?
This is our problem.
Started then. Why didn't I say, yo, man, this guy's going through a lot, man.
He said, well,
His girl's cheating on him and he's hurting.
he was hurting.
I would have never said that. But yeah, this is how long I know this guy. But yeah, music definitely
But no,
plays a role.
I wouldn't advise that for anybody.
Yeah.
You know, when we beat y'all this fall, put on Motown Philly by Boys to Men. That's what you really want to listen to. Motown
cut that up.
Philly's
We're going to
back
edit that part
again.
out. Don't worry about it.
Little East Coast.
Yeah,
man.
music's definitely
Man, Boys to
changes
Men.
your mood.
If I hear Seasons, Four Seasons,
Yeah, that's good one.
I played that like twice after mine. But other than that, I try to hide that emotion. Like I called you one time. It was just like, yo, I was just in my basement chilling
Yeah.
and just got overwhelmed. And only person I could call was this guy, man. So I didn't think anybody would understand.
I have a question in regards to what he's saying. Like, as a man, how important it is to express yourself. Like, you know, you hear that, oh, it's not good for a man to cry. I disagree. You understand? But I don't think a man should be a cry baby.
All right.
But I think it's important for a man to reveal who he is. There's certain things that
You get emotional about it.
right affects you a certain way. You understand? I think that because my struggle was that it was like sometimes I would get certain things I'm more emotional towards. When I feel that emotion, I would suppress it because I would say, nah, man,
Can't let him
a
see
man don't do that. What I'm
Yep.
crying for? You know, and I would literally talk myself out of the natural expression that comes with said stimulus.
All right.
So,
Right.
like, what would you say in regards to how important is that?
I think it's very important. It's in line with a lot of what we've been saying about being able to express ourselves and being genuine and being real. Extremely important. At the notion that a grown man shouldn't, or even a boy shouldn't cry, that's an old school notion. But you see, it still lives. It still has relevance for a lot of people. But it's unhealthy. It's not a healthy way to operate because it contributes to a way of being that has us closed, that keeps us from being totally genuine and open. It's part of why it's easier for us to shut down because that's how we train. If that's what we taught and we believe that's the way to go, then okay, I'm not going to express myself. Just like what we've been saying in terms of situations in our relationships and so forth. Yeah, it's easy to say, you know what? No, I ain't gonna. Certainly not gonna cry about it. But if you, in that scenario you talked about with your your girl, if you were to break down and cry one day, you might have it. Your problem might be solved.
It's true. You gotta come in the house swinging.
Oh my God!
And then she holds you.
Boys in the hood.
That just might do it, man.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
And then something might happen, bro.
But I don't agree a man should be crying over everything, though. I don't agree with that. But I
don't
do.
think women should be crying over. Nobody should be crying over everything.
Well, I mean,
we get judged more on crying though. Men.
Oh, definitely.
because I believe our role should be more problem solving. So there should be a responsibility to be able to at least look a problem in the eye. And maybe in the end, when everything is said and done, you could probably sit down and be like, wow, you sit with your partner or whatever and then express everything. But everything, nah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I would have a problem with that. I'm gonna be honest with that.
I know everybody's big on these roles, but my personal opinion, I think roles are what the other person allows you to do. So you could say, yo, my role should be this. And she'd be like, or he'd be like, no, it's not. That's me. Well, I'm gonna do that. So, and then you have the conflict that never ends, man.
Yeah. I cried a lot of times here in the studio. A lot.
Yeah.
I've never let people see me cry when I was going through what I was going through. But I used to ball out here, play music, just ball out. Somebody would call me, hey, what's up, man? How are you?
He's not lying. I do that.
Hey, how you doing, man? What you doing?
I don't answer. I try to get that all that emotion until it's gone. I try to deal with it.
You would never know, bro.
Oh, nah, that's definitely about myself.
I would go from boo-hoo to, yo, what's up?
Yeah, nah, if you call me while I'm going, if I get a call or somebody wants to talk to me through my emotion, I'm ignoring that until
the crying's a big thing, though.
Until it's solved.
We were definitely taught, don't cry.
Right.
Don't show emotion.
Yeah, we used to get beat and be like, yo, you want me to give you something to cry for? I thought that concussion you gave me was enough, but I guess it wasn't. Okay, let me just keep that emotion in.
Yeah, but it goes back to what he said about the survival. You bringing up young men, and being strong is important. But it's that mental fortitude that they try to instill. But a lot of time that culture doesn't understand the ramifications that it has emotionally.
Yes.
You understand? And now you juxtapose the two. You want them to choose, but you never really train them in that regard. So that then the confusion just comes out of nowhere, and then you get today. You know what I'm saying?
You just created a non-expressive man. And he only knows one way.
Yeah, when we were growing up, I was the dude that was always crying. This guy came to me one day like, yo, man, so F you always crying for me. You can't be letting them see you cry out there. And then 30 years later, I still don't cry, man. But
you damaged him, man.
Yeah, but that's how it is.
Blaming me.
Nah, but yo, listen. If I know Chico could not see me cry, that would have been it.
That's weird because I cry more in front of Pops than Mom.
Is that a security thing?
Very comfortable crying in front of my father and just bonding with my father and talking to him and just let him know. My mom's, I will not.
Yeah.
You okay?
Nah,
I'm good.
That's a press all crying.
Nah, my father, sure. Pops, yo.
He got snot coming down.
It's a weird. I mean, not weird, but that's my man. Pops, that's my guy.
That's beautiful to have that in a young man's life.
Man, listen,
even now, to have a counterpart that you can call, like you can be yourself with, but he's an elder.
Right.
You understand? So he can at least shed light on certain things where you think there's no way out. He could have you try this, and you're like, oh shoot, and then you can like let it out. Because I do believe that once you kill the catalyst to stress, it enables you to progress. Oh, that rhymes. Yeah, it enables you to progress.
Bars.
Yeah.
Message.
Because I'll tell my little girl this. Oh, I'm sorry. I tell my little girl that. I said, like, stress is a person worrying about something that they can't change. That's what I was telling her. And I said, life is not about blaming fault, but it's about responsibility. Learn your responsibility and do it. Mm-hmm. You find like life will be more peaceful and more manageable because you'll be able to only focus on the things that you have that effect and what you can change.
Let's
there it is.
Get out of here.
Yep, let's go.
There it is.
He said he got clients at 12.
Sheep. We counting sheep.
All right, Doc. Thanks for being with us, man.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it. I know we kept you here too long, man, but
My pleasure.
Thanks for
we had a
enlightening
little
us.
therapy session the last 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Side benefit.
Yeah.
Joe Cap is getting upset. Say you got to go.
Yeah,
No, but that shows how effective you are.
Yeah, man.
So I
Yeah, I
appreciate
open
you.
up here more than I did.
Right?
And this is just, we supposed to be interviewing you.
I know.
I don't know how you do that, man.
All right, man. It's a Sportsmanlike Kind of podcast signing off. Peace, man. Thank you.
Sportsmanlike conduct.